Good morning, students. In previous class we have learned Schrodinger wave equation and Schrodinger wave equation for hydrogen atom. So we have learned in previous class. So today we will discuss about quantum numbers. So these are very important. Okay, so we know that every person having a certain personal address. Okay, so like this electrons, all electrons having a some personal address. So we know that by the using of quantum numbers we can identify or we can found that electron in which orbital or in which energy level it will exist or it will occur. Okay, so that's why quantum numbers are very used to find out the electrons in orbitals or in energy levels around the nucleus. Okay, so first we will about atomic orbital. Already we know that, but once again repeated here. Orbital is nothing but the space. So here three-dimensional space. It is a three-dimensional space in which the probability of finding electron is maximum. That space is called atomic orbitals. So atomic orbitals are generally represented square boxes, but sometimes represented as circles. So both are equal. What is the definition? The space. Which space? Three-dimensional space in which the probability of finding electron is maximum. The probability of finding electron is maximum. So that space is called atomic orbitals. So atomic orbitals are represented by psi. It is a wave function. It is also called atomic wave functions. Okay. Next, these atomic orbitals are characterized by quantum numbers. These atomic orbitals are characterized by quantum numbers. So finally, simply we can say that quantum numbers are the address of electrons. Quantum numbers are the address of electrons. So here there are four quantum numbers are there. So first one is principal quantum number, and the second one is azimuthal quantum number, and the third one is magnetic quantum number, and fourth one is spin quantum number. There are four quantum numbers. First one is principal quantum number. Already we know that Bohr, in Bohr topic or Bohr atomic model, principal quantum numbers are there. And the next one is azimuthal quantum number. Okay, and the third one is magnetic quantum number, and the fourth one is spin quantum number. So we will see one by one. So now we will discuss about one by one. Okay, so first principal quantum number. First one is principal quantum number. This is a principal quantum number. It is represented by n. Okay. It is proposed by Niels Bohr. It is proposed by Niels Bohr. And this quantum number, which is principal quantum number, is represented by n. And principal quantum number indicates shells. Principal quantum number indicates shells. So which are K shell, L, M, so on. Okay, and maximum number of orbitals in shell is n square. And the next one is the maximum number of electrons are present in shell is 2n square. Okay, and principal quantum number indicates orbitals size as well as orbitals energy. Okay, for example here we take an nucleus. It is a nucleus, and these are the energy levels. These are energy levels, and these energy levels are represents as a shell also. So which it is a K shell, L shell, M shell. Okay, so on. Next here K shell is nothing but n is equal to 1. If n is equal to 2, that is L shell. If n is equal to 3, that is M shell. Okay, here you observe that if the n value is increases, what is a 1, 2, 3, n value increases, what will be happen here? Orbital size as well as energy will be increases. For example, you take a 1s orbital and 2s orbital and last the 3s orbitals. You will comparing the orbitals. What happened if n value, here n value is 1, here n value is 2, here n value is 3. Okay, if n value is increases, what will be happen? Orbital size will be increases as well as energy also increases. That is represents principal quantum numbers. Okay, next here if you take another nucleus, here shells are there. So it is a K shell, it is a L shell, but here the maximum number of orbitals in shell is n square. For example, n is equal to 1, only one orbital is there. If n is equal to 2, 2 means 2 square means 4 orbitals are there. Here 3 p orbitals plus 1 2s orbital. So total 4 orbitals are present in L shell. As well as here 5d orbitals plus 3 p orbitals plus 1 s orbital. So total 5 plus 3 plus 8 plus 1. So total 9 orbitals are there. In which shell? M shell. 9 means here 3 square, n is equal to 3. 3 square means 9 orbitals are there. 5d orbitals, 3 p orbitals, 1 3s orbital. Okay, so clearly indicated here, principal quantum number, it indicates shells. So maximum, the question is rising here. So maximum number of orbitals are present in shell is represented by n square. So how many orbitals are present in L shell? How many orbitals? 4 orbitals are present. How many orbitals are present in M shell? How many? 9 orbitals. Because it is indicated by n square. N square means n is equal to 3. Here 9 orbitals are there. 3 square. Okay. And finally, very important, n increases, n value, that is principal quantum number increases, orbital size and energy also increases. So this is the information about principal quantum number, and it was proposed by Niels Bohr and it indicated by n value. So here you will observe that 1s means n is equal to 1, 2s means n is equal to 2, 3s means n is equal to 3. Okay, so next one is another quantum number. So that is azimuthal quantum number. It is also called orbital angular momentum. It is also indicates orbital angular momentum. So azimuthal quantum number, it is represented by small l. It was proposed, azimuthal quantum number was proposed by Sommerfeld, and azimuthal quantum number determines shapes of orbitals. So orbitals are shapes are explained by the azimuthal quantum number. In next class we will discuss about briefly shapes of orbitals. So here just indicate which indicate azimuthal quantum number indicates shapes of orbitals. Okay, next the value of L is 0 to n minus 1. So L values are represented like 0 to n minus 1. For example, here you will see carefully, n is equal to 1 means the shell is K shell. If n is equal to 2, that is L shell. If n is equal to 3, that is M shell, so on. Okay, it is clearly in previous quantum number, that is the principal quantum number we discussed. So now we will define the L value. So L value where to where? Here 0 to n minus 1. For example, n equal to 1. Now L equal to how many values are? L value is only 1 whenever n is equal to 1. L value only 1, that is only 0 whenever n is equal to 1. And it is also exhibit the subshell. So if whenever L is equal to 0, that is represented by subshell, that is s orbital, that is 1s orbital. Okay, next if n is equal to 2, that means L is equal to 0 to 2 minus 1 means 1. Okay, and 0 and 1, 0 and 1, these are belongs to L shell. Okay, next that subshell is represented as a, if L is equal to 0, that is 2s orbital, and L is equal to 1, that is 2p orbital. Next, if n is equal to 3, L having a 3 values, that is 0 value, 1 value and 2 value. That means the subshell having 3s orbital, 3p orbital and 3d orbitals. For example, here clearly mentioned that if n is equal to 3, L is equal to, we find out 0 to n minus 1. N minus 1 means 0 to 3 minus 1. So 0 to 2 values are having this L. Okay, that is 0, 1, 2. For example, here you will see it is a nucleus. For example, here n is equal to 1, that is belongs to K shell. So how many L values are there? Only one value, that is 0. L is equal to 0. Okay, if L is equal to 0, that is belongs to 1s orbital. Next, if n is equal to 2, how many values? 0 and 1 value is there. So if L is equal to 0, that is 2s orbital. If L is equal to 1, that is 2p orbital. And next, third one is, if n is equal to 3, how many subshells are there and how many values are? L values 0, 1, 2. L values 0, it is indicate 3s orbital, and 1 is indicates 3p orbital and 2 indicates 3d orbital. Okay, whenever n is equal to 3, if n is equal to 3, L having 3 values which are 0, 1, 2, and the orbitals are 3s orbital, 3p orbital and 3d orbital. So this is the information about azimuthal quantum number. Okay, here very important. So azimuthal quantum number indicates subshells. Subshells means here s orbital, s and p orbital and s, p, d orbitals also indicates azimuthal quantum number. Here you clearly seen that if 2s is given, for example 2s given, how many quantum numbers are there? Here 2 quantum numbers are there, and the 2 indicates principal quantum number, and s indicates it is a subshell, and it is L value. S is L value. So that means L is equal to 0, that is which subshell is a s orbital or s subshell. So whenever we seen that 1s or 2s or 2p or 3s or 3p or 3d, so in these two quantum numbers are present. One is principal quantum number, another one is azimuthal quantum numbers. So s, p, d, f like these orbitals or subshells are indicated by the L quantum number, is nothing but azimuthal quantum number. And the third one is magnetic quantum number. It is also very important. So magnetic quantum number, it is represented by small m. Here magnetic quantum number was proposed by Lande. It is represented as m. Sometimes is a small ml, sometimes represented as ml. So it indicate, magnetic quantum number indicates number of spatial orientations. Number of spatial orientations are represented by magnetic quantum number. So generally p orbital having 3 orientations. 1, 2, 3 orientation. That's why how many p orbitals are there? So generally p orbital containing the 3 orbitals. Okay, and the d, how many orbitals are there? 5 orbitals. 5 orbitals means here d orbital exists as a 5 orientations. Okay, so next one is we will see the m value. So m value is present from the minus L, 0 and plus L. For example, here L is equal to 0. So subshell L is equal to 0 is indicate the s orbital. Now ml value or m values, if L is equal to 0, that means minus 0, 0 plus 0 is nothing but all are zeros. That means if L is equal to 0 and next one is m is equal to 0, how many orbitals? Only one orbital is there. Next, there is no orientation. Here there is no orientation, is very important. S orbital does not have any orientations. Or orientation is nothing but spatial arrangement. So p orbital, next one is if L is equal to 1, that indicates p orbital. So in p orbitals, how many orientations are present? 3 orientations are present. Here you will see that. So pz, so generally p orbital containing the 3 orbitals. Okay, so here how many orientations are present in p orbital? 3 orientations. So along the z axis, along the x axis, along the y axis. So these are differences, but 3 orientations are present. So that's why how many degenerated orbitals are present in p? Okay, so 3 degenerate orbitals are present. And the d orbitals or d subshell, so L is equal to 2, it indicated the d orbitals. So how many orientations are present in d orbital? 5 orientation. So that is which orientation is a minus 2, minus 1, 0, plus 1, plus 2. So L values is okay. So how many orientations are present in d orbitals? So 5 orientations. For example, here we taken another L value. For example, L value is 3. So that is indicated f orbitals. So how many? So here L is equal to 3 means it is a minus 3. Next one is minus 2. Next minus 1, 0, plus 1, plus 2 and plus 3. So these orientations are present. How many? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So 7 orientations are present, is nothing but 7 orbitals are present in f orbital. Okay, so 1 2 3 4 5 6 and 7. 1 2 3 4 5 6 7. So how many degenerated orbitals? 7 degenerated orbitals in f subshell or f orbital. F orbital exhibit the 7 orientations or 7 spatial arrangements are present. And next one is 9. 9 means L is equal to 4. So that is g orbitals. So like this. Okay. So number of orbitals are present. In your higher classes it is very important, but in intermediate stage only f orbitals is enough. The last one is so once again repeated here, magnetic quantum number. It is introduced by, or it was proposed by Landé, and it is represented as small m, and it mainly indicates the number of spatial orientations. That means arrangements. So m value is where to where minus L to plus L. For example, here if L is equal to 0, that is subshell is a S or S orbital, and the m value, how many m values are there? Only one m value, that is 0. And how many degenerated orbitals are present? Only one degenerated orbital is present. Next, if L is equal to 1, that is belongs to the p orbital, how many ml values are there? 3 ml values are there. So that is minus 1, 0 and plus 1. So from this we can calculate that how many degenerated, 3 orbitals also having same energy. Degenerated means having the same energy. Okay. Next, if L is equal to 2, that m values are which are minus 2, minus 1, 0, plus 1, plus 2. So these 5 values are belongs to the m value. That means 5 orientations. So how many degenerated orbitals? 5 degenerated orbitals. So in which degenerated orbitals also very important. So how many degenerated orbitals are present in d orbitals? Okay, and the last one is spin quantum number. So spin quantum number is introduced by Uhlenbeck and Gauss-Smith, and it was represented as small s. It was represented as small s. So it indicates electron spin orientations. It indicates electron spin orientations. For example, here you will take up sign. Sign is a up. It indicates positive half. Okay, it indicates positive half, as well as it also indicates clockwise orientation. Okay, so for example, here it is a nucleus, electron spin. The electron spin is a clockwise orientation. Clockwise orientations indicated the electron is a upward sign. If the downward sign is a anti-clockwise. Anti-clockwise orientation means is a downward sign. So this is the information about spin quantum numbers. Only 2 electron having only 2 orientations. Electron spin having 2 orientation. One is sign up, that is a clockwise orientation, and anti-clockwise orientation. It is a clockwise orientation, it is anti-clockwise orientation, and the orbital cannot hold more than 2 electrons. You will see in every orbital it having only 2 electrons. So more than 2 it could not hold by the orbitals. Okay, so that's why every orbital should contain only 2 electrons, and these 2 electrons also should have opposite spin. Okay, so orbital having only 2 electrons, and those which are also having opposite spin. So here one is forgotten here in magnetic quantum number. So that is so number of orbitals in subshell are represented by 2l plus 1. If we substitute the L values, we can obtain number of orbitals in subshell. If L is equal to 0 is nothing but only one orbital is present in subshell. Okay, so that is a S. In S subshell, what will be happen? Only one degenerated orbital is present. If L value is 1, substitute here. If L value is 1, that means 2 plus 1, 3 orbitals. So number of orbitals in subshell is 3 orbitals. If L is equal to 1, so that is a which subshell is a P subshell, and how many orbitals are present? 3 orbitals. 3 orbitals. So which are Px, Py, Pz. Px, Py, Pz orbitals are present, and these orbitals are degenerated orbitals. Degenerated means having the same energy. If L is equal to 2, substitute here. How many orbitals are present? If 2 into 2 is a 4 plus 1, 5 orbitals. So which orbitals? Which are dz square, dx square minus y square, dxy, dyz, and so here dxy, dyz and dxz. Okay, so these 5 orbitals are also having same energy. That's why these are called degenerated orbitals, and it is present in L is equal to 2 subshell. Okay, if L is equal to 3 is substitute here, what will be happen here? 3 into 2 is 6 plus 1, 7 f orbitals are present. Okay, so these f orbitals are also having same energy. That's why here how many degenerated orbitals are present in f subshell? 7 degenerated orbitals are present. Okay, so this is the information about quantum numbers: principal quantum number, azimuthal quantum number, and magnetic quantum number, and spin quantum number. So quantum numbers are the address of electrons. If we find the electron in energy levels around the nucleus, we use quantum numbers.